Susan Powell's disappearance in December 2009 is one of the most shocking unsolved mysteries in recent years. Her husband, Josh Powell, was the prime suspect after police made haunting discoveries. Susan's phone lodged in her husband's vehicle. Yet he said he didn't have a clue where she was, and traces of her blood ominously staining their carpet. All evidence pointed to Josh as her murderer, but with no body, police could not charge him. 3 years later, Josh does the unthinkable, snuffing out the lives of their 2 innocent sons before taking his own life. In today's story, we will examine the events that led to this dark ending. But before we begin, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. And if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay connected. Josh and Susan Powell met when Susan was 18 and Josh 25. They were active members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and participated in an Institute of Religion course, during which Josh proposed. They exchanged vows at the LDS Portland, Oregon Temple on April 6, 2001. Subsequently, the couple resided with Josh's father, Stephen, in the South Hill area near Puyallup. Unfortunately, Susan became the target of Stephen's inappropriate behavior, including theft of personal items, and he secretly filmed her, leading to a confession of obsession in 2003. In 2004, the Powells relocated to West Valley City, Utah. Susan, juggling her roles as a mother and a broker, faced mounting marital issues due to Josh's financial mismanagement and his alignment with his father, particularly in matters related to Stephen's disturbing fixation. Stephen would record himself and describe disturbing instances of his arousal around Susan. Financial difficulties reached a breaking point in 2007, compelling Josh to declare bankruptcy with debts exceeding $200,000. Concerned for her safety, Susan drafted a secret will in June 2008, highlighting Josh's threats to leave the country and pursue legal action in case of divorce. By July 29, 2008, she documented instances of property damage caused by Josh and left a note saying if she ever turned up missing, it may not be what it seems. On December 6, 2009, Susan attended church with her children, marking the last confirmed interaction with an outsider when a neighbor visited in the afternoon. The subsequent morning revealed the absence of Susan and Josh's children from daycare. The daycare made their grandparents aware, and they called to report them all missing, thus triggering the unfolding of tragic events that followed. West Valley City Police Detective Ellis Maxwell arrived at the Powell family home on December 7th, noting Susan's belongings, the absence of forced entry, and the presence of 2 fans directed at a wet spot on the carpet. Her keys, wallet, and purse were all still inside the home, but no one was to be found. Upon Josh Powell's return at 5 p.m., he claimed to have been camping with his children, a statement corroborated by the children. However, inconsistencies emerge as he fails to account for the presence of Susan's phone in his car, coupled with the disconcerting detail that the camping excursion occurred on a school night amid freezing temperatures. His eldest son tells detectives that his mom came with them on the trip, but did not return with them. He says that his mom is by the crystals. Coincidentally, there was an area of geothermal rocks that looked similar to crystals where Josh claimed they were camping. There was also a mine shaft not too far from the area. One of Josh's co-workers recounted Josh telling him that the best way to hide a body would be down a mine shaft. Conveniently, the mine shaft was destroyed and lit on fire, oddly, right around the time they allegedly went camping. Police conduct a search of the area, but finding evidence in the desert is like a needle in a haystack. Despite suspicions, the lack of Susan's body hinders the Salt Lake County District Attorney from pursuing charges against the Powell family in connection to her disappearance. On December 8th, Josh Powell further complicated matters by renting a car and covering 800 miles before returning it to Salt Lake City Airport on December 10th. The investigation takes a more ominous turn on December 9th, when police discover blood containing Susan's DNA on the family's carpet, where the wet spot was. Subsequently, on December 15th, handwritten documents from Susan's safety deposit box reveal her enduring marital stress and the ominous threats from Josh, expressing a desire to evade the country and resort to legal action in case of divorce. The web of lies started to catch up with Josh, with the Powell children shared disturbing details. Braden depicts a grim scene in a drawing, suggesting Mommy was in the trunk. Police believed that Josh's brother Michael may have played a role in disposing of Susan's body. Cadaver dogs searched Michael's car and alerted to the presence of a body. Simultaneously, financial evidence surfaced when Josh liquidated Susan Powell's IRA. The children relocated to Puyallup in the same month, residing with Josh's father, Stephen. A subsequent search of Stephen's home yields child pornography charges in November 2011, leading to Josh losing custody to Susan's parents. Josh relinquished custody, coupled with a court order mandating a psychological evaluation, including a polygraph, to be conducted in February 2012. Susan's parents claimed that around this time, the boys were starting to remember details of Susan's disappearance, telling them random things about that trip. They begged the state not to allow visitation with Josh and the kids. However, a tragic turn of events unfolded on February 5th around noon, during a supervised visit arranged by social worker Elizabeth Griffin. Upon the children's entry, Josh looked right at her and abruptly locked her out. Griffin, sensing something is extremely off with Josh, calls 911. However, the dispatcher is cold and callous towards her, almost mocking her for calling with something so trivial. She goes on to explain multiple times that Josh is dangerous, and she starts to smell gasoline around the home. She wants to get those children out of the house. Soon after she hangs up with the dispatcher, the home explodes in flames. With a chilling sequence of violence, police later find out that he incapacitated his children with an axe, attempting to kill them first, then drench them in gasoline and set their residence ablaze. What father inflicts such a violent and horrible death onto his own innocent children? In the moments preceding this horrifying act, Josh conveyed a final farewell to his attorney through a brief email, stating, "I'm sorry, goodbye." Susan's parents believed that the children knew what Josh had done, and Josh became aware that it was only a matter of time before he was found out. They begged the state not to allow the visitation. They feared he would kill them. The aftermath saw the passing of Josh's father, Susan Powell, from natural causes following his release from prison. Subsequently, on February 11th, 2013, Josh's brother Michael, suspected as a potential accomplice by investigators, tragically ended his life by jumping off a building. All three suspects with possible knowledge of Susan's whereabouts were now deceased. The legal repercussions continued to unfold, culminating in a landmark decision in July 2020. Washington State awarded Susan's parents $98 million for negligence related to the tragic deaths of their grandchildren. Despite the legal outcomes, the whereabouts of Susan Powell remain a haunting mystery, with her disappearance unresolved to this day. In recent developments, a pair of women's pants and some bones were found in a Utah mine shaft, and they hope it could be Susan Powell. Do you think that Josh was innocent or guilty? Tell us your thoughts in the comments below. For more stories like this one, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.